What up, what up? Why pray again, beat makers and producers? It's a Terry TV back with another one, you see me? And in today's video, we're gonna learn how to record in a FL Studio, you see it? For those who are trying to record, this is the spot, you see me? Alright, so let's get into it. So now there are different ways to record in FL Studio, right? You can record by arming a mixer track, or you can record by arming a track in the playlist. So we are going to try by arming a mixer track first, right? So this is what you would do. Well, this is what I do, right? You can record, you can choose a slot. So I'm here at insert one. Then now we are go over to the audio input source, right? So when we go over the audio input source, we can take the FL ASIO, or we can take the stereo or the mono. Like, you're going to record in a mono still. You're hardly recording a stereo, isn't it? But you're going to record in a mono. So you're going to choose either input 1 or input 2. Then when you arm the track now, when you choose your input source, the track becomes armed. So as you can see right here, so this red light means that the track is armed. And you can also see it over here. So say this is the style of me I use for record my audio for the videos that I do here, right? So that is it, you arm the track. But what me usually do, as you can see, you have two slots. Because I arm this track as a recording. However, I route it to this track where I add the effects. I usually route it to a different track to add the effects. Because when I add the effects on the same track where the recording, you have lagging, right? And we don't want to lagging. And at the same time too, when I record the track with the effects added, then the recording is automatically recorded with the effects. So the sound is no longer dry. So say for example you have an auto tune for your track, then when you record, it will just record with the auto tune. So suppose you sing in a one key where you miss the key and the auto tune it and it sound awful. The recording will sound awful and you can't change it. So that's why we tend to route it to a different track, right? So boom, we route it to a different track. We come down here, so as you can see, because automatically it go route to the master track. So we take it off the master track by just clicking it and clicking the track we want to route it to. Then now, for add the effects, we'll go over to the mixer channel. We choose a slot, this arrow, this drop down arrow. We choose a slot, then we can go up on more plugins and choose the type of effects what we want to add, right? So the type of effects, well, you usually add, see, depending, because it all depends on your recording situation. So me normally put a noise gate first. So we use a limiter for the noise gate presets. It have a noise gate preset, noise gate, right? So I'm gonna label that. Noise gate. Then now we add the auto tune. And how auto tune work? Oh, I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use the stock one. Cause this I use the stock auto tune. So FL Studio stock auto tune is picture, right? And how this auto tune works and how all auto tune works is you gotta choose the key. So up here, so you can say all. So that tell you the mode of the scale or the mode of the key. Then boom minor, and whether you're singing a C minor, C sharp minor, D sharp minor, whatever minor or major or whatever it is, you choose your key and Yeah, so depending on the key of the beat, you choose the key of the beat for the song where you're recording, right? And then after that, you don't want add a EQ, right? Then after you add a EQ, you don't want add a de-esser. Um, Maximus have a de-essing feature, and that is a stock plugin. So we go a Maximus, we go a presets, de-esser, narrowband or split band. We usually use narrowband, and you alter the range to match, cause everything depending upon your input source, right? So any audio while you record, you have to make sure say you adjust like your EQ, you adjust your Maximus, you adjust everything to match that, right? So boom, you add a de-esser. Let me rename this. So de-esser. So the de-esser go manage all of the hissing sound, them, the S sounds and all of that. So boom, you add a de-esser, you add a next you add a compressor. We usually use Fruity Limiter like as like my stock compressor. You have a Fruity compressor, but I like the imagery what um what FL what the limiter gear. So boom, you use a compressor. And for vocals, like you usually use a ratio of about you usually use a ratio of about 4. Usually use a ratio of about 4. So boom, turn up a ratio to about 4. And your threshold will go depending upon your signal will come in. Right? So boom, you add a limiter, well you add a compressor. And that are pretty much it for the basics. If you want to add a reverb to the track, you can add a reverb. Because this not gonna be the final. This is just for your record and hear some effects while you record. Right? When it comes to the final mix now, you gotta do the final mix more detailed. And you gotta add more effects and stuff like that. But for the initial stage, like just for record, for hear some effects, like these basic tools is all you need. Is it? And a reverb, as we say, if you want to add a reverb, and a delay if you want to add a delay, right? And you would have find the reverb same place. But the fruity reverb name reverb as in 2E. And we use fruity reverb 2. You see me? You turn it down, you're not gonna make it stay a maximum. You turn it down to about 30 or 40 or 50 or to wherever you will like it. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's how to set up your vocal chain for your recording, right? All right, now, very important, right? If you have a audio interface, this is what you would need to do. Because me not using an audio interface right now. I use a USB mic, so I just plug the USB mic directly into my computer. So it doesn't come with its own audio. It's using FL Studio audio. However, if you were using an interface, you'd have to go to options, then you'd have to go to audio setting. Then when you go to audio setting, you choose input or output device. And then now, as you can see, I use Focusrite USB. So this is what I would choose. Because when I record, a Focusrite audio interface me use. So depending on your audio interface, you would choose that one, right? And then you could record. But if you don't choose it, then it's gonna FL Studio Audio would be the default. So if you're using a interface, you'd have to choose the interface. You'd have to come to options and go to audio and choose the interface from there. And when you record, you want your buffer length. Like as I say, may I use the stock. So the stock minimum buffer length for FL Studio Audio at 256. But when you use the interface, you want to go like 128. or 64. But like 128 would have been like the best, isn't it? Because the 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 buffer the buffer length is like how much lagging you go hear. So the longer the buffer length, the more lagging. So that means if my record now, would I hear it like a sound like a second or two later. You want when you record, you hear it almost instantaneously. So that's why you want to reduce the buffer length. All right now. So recording from the playlist now. So say I choose track one, right? So I go a track one, then we go track mode, and then you see unassign audio track, instrument track. Would I go to audio track and for the mixer channel when we just set up as recording, click that. So when we click that now, we see it come up. And then when we're ready for record now, we just arm it. See there? It armed, disarmed. When we're ready for record, it everything what we record I go record in a this track. Right up here. However, it go process through this mixer channel. But recording from here, it go give you a bit more clarity. You know, it more simpler. As opposed to if you did just have the audio track, the tracks would have just choose an empty slot and just record in that empty slot. So the audio file where you record would have always come up in this track. As opposed to when you just use a mixer without arming one of the playlist tracks, it would just appear anywhere there's available space. Right? So now, how to record now? So you don't set up your mixer channel, you don't set up your track, and you're ready for record now, right? So what you're gonna do is you can click R. So you just click R and the recording option come up, or you press the record button up at top up here, and the same option come up. Then what you don't want to know, you can either record your audio into Edison or you record your audio into the playlist. Now, I don't usually record into Edison. I only record into Edison for like mixing purposes, for beat making purposes. So say I want to make an audio track, like I want to make a vocal clip to insert into my beat or whatever. I would record into Edison because Edison have some features where you can edit the audio to make it sound different and rare. But for like recording a song, I usually choose this option, record audio into audio playlist, into the playlist. So boom, the audio is recording. You see me? Yeah. So you can see the audio they record. And the only reason I see two of them right now are because I have two tracks armed. I have this track and I have this track. So that's why you see it. And this one, as you can see, number one, I record up here. And this one is recording in the next available slot. Yeah. So let's play it and see what's going on. The audio is recording. You see me? Yeah. The record. The only reason I see two tracks armed. I have this track and I have this track. So that's why you see it. Alright, so say for example your track record and your record too long and you want to cut off a part. You would just come out here so and then when you see the arrow change to this sliding effect, you just drag it to any length and it cut. And you have to make sure say when you come at the wavelength here, this option is not clicked. Because if this option is clicked, it's going to stretch it instead of cutting it. Undo that. So when I take off this option right here, it cuts the audio and not stretch it. Then now, like, however, alright, so when you're recording at the playlist now, you have to move the audio. Because if you don't move the audio, it a go record over it. Alright, so this is our next thing you know. When you're ready for record, you have to make sure say the slot where you dip on is the recording slot. So it's like how this highlighted. If me did come down here so and press the record button. No, me not run up in a no problem there so. But say for example, me in the mixer and this a channel I'm dip on. I'm ready for record. It a go ask me say yo, where should I record? Because I am not on the recording track. So you have to make sure say when you're ready for record, you dip on the recording track. So this a one. So you dip on one. Right? And like how we arm the playlist, we can also choose it from the playlist. So once you click this, it knows say we're ready for record. So again, when you're ready for record, make sure say you dip on the recording channel. So this is your mixer channel, this is your mixer track. Make sure you dip on your mixer track. If you just arbitrarily there over here so and then you click record, they're gonna ask you where should I record? Because that track is not armed, right? And then it's gonna tell you say you did select an audio input, so recording couldn't start. Cause it can't record unless it know where it is recording from. So that's just like the only drawback with FL Studio. Cause FL Studio wasn't designed for recording, it was designed for beat making. So if you use a Pro Tools or something like that, the process would be different. And I would imagine that it would also be easier because it is more catered to recording as opposed to FL Studio. However, all of my songs that I record in FL Studio. So I love use FL Studio same way. We'll probably get Pro Tools or so one day, but for right now, I love FL Studio, so I use. So yeah, that's it for today's video. That's how to record in FL Studio. Next time we link, I gonna have a drum pack for you to download. Is it? Yeah. A wicked piece of drum pack. Isn't it? But that's for the next video. So yeah, until then, you see me soon in our next one.